Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Fourth and Dream podcast. It is me, your host, Red, with our co-host, the Commish. I'm glad week 7's over, buddy.
I tell you what, my man, I know we're just going to jump right into it, but you of all people in this league, Monday night has not been kind to you, my man.
Nah, dude, I lost by a quarter of a point. A little over a quarter of a point. But,
It's like you almost need to check your opponent's lineup just to make sure that they don't have anybody going on Monday night, because
I don't think I can control that, but if I could, I would. I know who could control
me too.
it. But
Yeah, speaking of
anyways,
which, yeah, none of that
yeah.
talk.
More injuries this week. Chris Godwin lost his foot. That's unfortunate. Dude, these injuries this season, man, they've been bad.
Yeah, it really sucked too, man. I mean, you had another guy, Chris Godwin, who I believe was top 5 in scoring from a wide receiver standpoint, and he's looking like he's lost for the season now.
Yeah,
So
dislocated ankle. That doesn't sound great.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't feel great either. It's unfortunate, man, because like Mayfield was having a
Cooking.
great, yeah,
Cooking. Well,
absolutely.
the Tampa Bay wide receiver core might be something to look at for the old free agent wire this week. If only that was my problem.
I concur, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my only advice to you is make sure you bid $101 or $102 next time.
Oh, don't worry, we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about that right now, actually. So we'll
Okay.
we'll recap week 7, and then we'll get into week 8. And what a better matchup to start off with than the Jolly Roger and YouTube safe name. So Jolly Roger puts up 143 points, and YouTube safe name puts up 121. So looks to me like that $101 bid just didn't work out too well for boy YouTube this week, huh? Let's talk about that.
I mean, I understand that he lost this week, but I mean, to be fair, he had 3 running backs that went north of 20 points, which I feel like is just about every fantasy football manager's dream.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I mean, what did it cost him? I mean, his QB1 got dinged up early in that game, man, and you got to figure Washington playing as well as they have been so far this season is going to err on the side of caution and probably not going to run him out there this week, man. Rib injuries are kind of tricky, it could be a couple weeks, but I mean, he's got his boy AA Ron in there, so fire it up, son. Fire it up.
Yeah. Like I said earlier in the season, man, I mean, Jaden Daniels has obviously been great. But skinny quarterbacks like that, dude, they freak me out.
Yeah.
They freak me out.
I'm not going to talk too much about the JR in this situation. 143 points is awesome, but I mean, I'm sure he's going to want to get on here pretty soon and defend himself. I'm for the slander I'm about to throw at his team in week 8. So
I look forward to that. All right, let's move on. CD's nuts gets in the win column this week. Like myself, Snitches get Stitches off to a hot start and folding quickly. 100 to 87.
we really need to talk about Joe Mixon. I mean, yeah, he missed 3 weeks there for a period of time, but of the 4 games he's played, in 3 of them, he's gone north of 23 points.
Stud.
Yeah. Scary part with old CD's nuts, man, is if he can finally get the Cowboys to get going and get old CD Lamb cooking. Old Alexander might make a run in the second half of the season.
Absolutely. Snitches, same thing. Mike Evans goes down. He's out until after the bye, I believe. Injuries galore, man.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be tough for old JC, man. This one, Montgomery got dinged up too. And, man, I don't want to say this, but things kind of looking like they might be getting ready to start trending in the wrong direction there for old snitches get stitches.
I feel his pain. I feel his pain. So so next on the books, one of the two snooze fests this weekend. ATL hands completely non-respectable 69 points to Iron Smoke 66. We'll call it 67. If I had to watch this in real life, I probably would have fell asleep.
I mean, I guess anytime that you can start a unit in fantasy football and then go for -5 points and still secure the win,
I've been there.
you just got to chalk it up, accept it, love it, enjoy it, and move on to the next week, man.
Yeah. Is Joe Burrow cooked? I don't think he's really been that good.
I mean, so right now, like from a scoring standpoint, he's third in scoring.
Yeah, I still don't think he's that good.
I mean, you don't. I don't know, man. It's tough to tell, dude, because like his stretch of quality games, Washington, Carolina, Baltimore. I mean, those teams just bleed points to quarterbacks. So, and I mean, he scored 37 against Baltimore.
Yeah.
392 and 5 touchdowns, man.
He's also third because Derek Carr's not playing.
Which is
2024.
Insane to say, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's been a very weird year. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
So moving on, let's talk about your matchup. So you smoked the boom, 123 to 76.
I mean, I guess for me, man, the story of my season seems to be, I mean, if I had to pick an MVP on my roster right now, man, Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, he's been a very pleasant surprise. He continues to, play very well. Another touchdown this week. Could have had one last week, and currently coming into week 8, man, he's top 5 in scoring. So my team just kind of right now, knock on wood, seems to be pretty healthy. So hopefully it can stay the course, man. I can be competitive coming down the stretch.
So has the 4-time turned a corner? 2 in a row for the
yeah. I mean, I would say so. I mean, I don't want to foreshadow too much about next week, but according to ESPN, I should be on upset alert.
Yeah. We'll call it 105 to 90 over Ass and TDs. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown had another big Sunday.
I mean, yeah, 2 straight, man. He's got his Eagle stack, and AJ Brown was about really the only bright spot in the Philly passing game this week, as they were pretty adamant on making Saquon Barkley like the feature piece in his revenge game. Tank Dell was another solid play this week, going completely goose, but hey, he gets out 104 to 89 with the victory. And man, poor Anna, dude, she's trying to hang on. 3-4, she hasn't had CMC all year. She lost Rashee Rice weeks ago, and she's hanging around, man. She's only 2 games out of first. So,
yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been a complete and utter disaster as much as it, feels like it could have been. And, Devontae Adams is going to get on the same page with Rodgers here eventually.
So I guess we'll talk about the 5-star from last week, aka Snooze Fest 2.0, aka fuck Monday night.
I mean, to be fair, and I know this is like throwing salt on the wound here, but there was drama in this one, man. It came down to Monday night, and it was in the balance till about the middle of the fourth quarter. It's not like McBride came out on Monday night and set the world on fire. So
Well, I
I
have
mean,
been
yeah.
swept by the Gailey household. Pull out the broom.
Damn.
Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, we still love you, brother.
I appreciate that. I would love me too. All right. So, yeah,
Enough of week 7, huh?
week
Put a
seven.
bow on that bitch.
I've felt this way for the past 2 weeks, and I quite possibly could feel this way for a third week in a row. Um, talk about that team that's holding on. They're probably going to hold on again. But we'll talk more about that. Actually, we're going to talk about that first, aren't we?
Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and get this thing fired up, dog. Yeah.
All right. So, Ass and TDs and Unk Shay's Instagram manager.
Hey man, I'm gonna talk about this one, but I want you to read that list one more time, bro.
Unk Shay's Instagram manager. Definitely have the. If I don't win anything else this season, which I highly doubt I will, I definitely won name of the year.
All right, man. I will. I'm gonna start on your side of the ball here. I like the fact that you got Keon Coleman in the starting lineup, man. You know, he had a big game last week. He went over 100 yards. Did he catch a touchdown? Did he find pay dirt? Did he?
Nope.
Did he?
Nope.
Yeah. No pay dirt. All right. I like 7 targets, 4 catches, 125 yards, man. I think he finds the end zone to get this week against Seattle. I think he's going to pace it for you. The one I'm kind of nervous about, man, is Tyler Goodson. And you and I talked about it before you hit record. Like, your RB2 situation is not ideal right now. Caleb Williams has been playing better as of late. On the flip side, on the other side of the ball, man, this is the one that's going to terrify me in your matchup, okay? David Njoku, okay? He's going up against the Ravens, and the Ravens have just bled points all season to opposing quarterbacks. Now, I understand they're playing the Browns. Deshaun Watson is out. And I have on good authority to believe that Jameis Winston is going to be getting the call.
You think so
And
over the rookie?
I I think it's going to be Jameis Winston, man. I really do.
When did he turn into a preacher? By the way,
I don't know, but I'm
man went from stealing crab legs to being a Southern gospel man. I don't, whatever, dude. Florida
well,
State
listen,
people.
man. Listen. Hey, all jokes aside, he's going to throw the ball. He's going to push it downfield, and Cleveland doesn't have anybody on the outside, man. So it's going to be Njoku early and often. Last week, he had 14 targets and 10 receptions, and he found pay dirt. So I think my man Jameis is going to get the nod, man. And I'm telling you, you're my boy, and I love you, man. But I don't think it's going to happen for you this week, man. I got Aston TDs going to 4-4 because I think Njoku's getting ready to go. Like, I think he might be like a $120-2 this week.
So we might not get the Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels game. That sucks, huh?
It's unfortunate, man.
I think Caleb Williams is going to light Washington secondary up. The problem is that the guy that catches all his touchdowns is on the other team.
Mm.
You're looking at David Njoku, but I'm looking at DJ Moore over there, right? And at this point, I kind of have a complex, and she has 2 people in her lineup that are playing on Monday night. Now, maybe me playing Malik Neighbors on Monday night kind of hurts her with the Steelers' defense being in play. But Najee Harris is probably going to run for 400 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, yeah, give me Ass and TDs by an absolute fucking landslide. 140 to fucking 63, dude.
Gross.
Yeah.
That is gross.
Yeah. Bills Mafia rise up, dude. Did you happen to see, there's a video. I need to start saving these and showing these during the podcast. We need to do that. I don't know if I'll get copyrighted, but whatever. I'll just put your name on the YouTube account. But there was a guy, a Bills fan, that had a newborn, and he did a baptism through a tiny Bills Mafia foam table.
I did see this.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's dedication to the game for sure.
That's ridiculous. Like, what if you slipped and like one of those wooden popsicle sticks like poked the kid? Like that baby was like brand new.
You want to know what the beautiful thing about that is? Is the guy's wife's probably from Boston.
100%. Yeah.
All
right.
Who we got next?
We have the Jolly Roger and CD's Nuts.
Jolly Roger and CD's Nuts. All right. I will start on the CD's Nuts side of the ball here. Oh boy. Joe Mixon is going to continue to cook against the Colts. Devon Achane. Sounds like he's getting his quarterback back this week, man. So I feel like Achane and the Dolphins are going to get right. And I think Achane's going to find pay dirt. But the guy on the CD's Nuts side of the ball that I think is going to be in for a big week is going to be Brock Bowers. I mean, the dude has just been peppered with targets all season. I think Brock Bowers is going to find the end zone for the second time this season. And on the flip side, for the Jolly Roger, I'm not going to look at his lineup top to bottom. I am simply going to look at his projected point total this week that has been put out there by ESPN. It is far and above everybody else this year at a crisp 105.5 points. And all that is going to translate to is the kiss of death. So give me CD's Nuts 92, the Jolly Roger 68 this week.
Damn.
So Ben will be on here next week to defend himself and try to put all this Jolly Roger slander to bed. Unless he scores 68 points, then we'll see him in 2 weeks.
So, yeah, I agree. Joe Mixon's been on a tear. I think he's going to continue. Very confused by Tua's press conference the other day. He was asked if he was going to wear a Guardian cap, and he aggressively said no. We all know I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I don't know, man. That's kind of like, you should probably wear that, dude. You should probably wear that, you know? But what do I know? But it should open things up for Devin Achane. Should open up that offense a little bit. Baker Mayfield's going to have a tough go of it. He has no wide receivers to throw to now. That's very unfortunate. I agree with you. Jolly Roger's going to get absolutely torched. Guy scored. He's going to score about 57 points this week. I'm going to say 57, not 68. But CD's Nuts is probably going to only score like 75, so it's not going to be that big of a point difference. But I'll take CD's Nuts as well. Down with the ship.
The slander.
Yeah.
Sink that damn ship, bro.
Yeah. Fuck you, Ben. Moving on, Surrender Cobras and Nancy P. How is this not the 5-star? Actually, I understand why it's not the 5-star, but still. Definitely a candidate.
Hey, man, listen, if, VB would get his shit together and, not have 5 losses to start the season, then yeah, we probably could be talking 5-star. But I mean, you know how it is, man. I've been pounding the drum, telling him to get all his at least one win out of his system before he ran into me. Because if he was 0-7 coming into this matchup, I mean, I bet every penny to my name he was getting ready to beat me. And I still feel like that's probably going to end up being the case. AJ Brown's back. The Eagles' pass attack, well, while it wasn't great last week because I played Devonta Smith and he went in the negative, AJ Brown looks fine, man, and Mark Andrews is starting to score touchdowns again. So I tell you what, man, I do have a couple of plus matchups for me this week. My running back tandem of Ken Walker and Raheem Mostert have some pretty solid matchups. If Aunt Nancy is able to run into victory lane this week, man, I feel like it's going to have to be on the backs of the running backs, man. I'm going to need 2 big weeks out of those two, specifically Raheem Mostert. I'm just banking on the Dolphins getting it right with Tua being back under center, man. But I am I'm not going to pick myself this week, man. I think Surrender Cobras makes it I think he gets to 3 wins in a row, man, and improves to 3-5 on the season.
He's definitely on a hot streak, man. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are doing AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts things. I like the Kareem Hunt pickup. It's kind of cool seeing him back in Kansas City. As long as he doesn't beat anybody up, we'll be fine. But man, I think you're missing something here. And we talked about this earlier in the season, but Garrett Wilson going against New England, he's not going to be up against Christian Gonzalez this time.
They're going to put him on Adams?
I mean, wouldn't you?
I guess, man. I mean, I guess right now it's kind of tough to tell who's 1A or 1B. You know what I mean? Didn't they split targets last week?
They did, but I mean, look how much it opened up for Garrett Wilson when Devontae Adams on the other side. You know,
Sure.
I think you're going to have huge games out of Amon-Ra. You know, of course with Homie being out for 2 weeks, Jameson Williams. And Garrett Wilson, I think, is going to have a big game too. Brian Thomas has been a stud for you all season. I think your wide receivers are going to carry you this weekend. And I'm going to pick you
Oh, fuck.
Out of spite for you and your wife beating me the past 2 weeks. Because every time you pick me, I seem to lose. So I'm going to try to do the same for you this week. And you are going to win 5,000 to 1.
Let me tell you something, bro. I had 1,000 points this week. Oh.
Well, you win the money pot. You win the money pot.
I tell you what, man. I hit 200 points this week, man. I'll make sure Eric's on the podcast next week.
Hey, we have enough room for 2 more screens, dude.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I didn't realize that I skipped one because in typical me fashion, I usually do this every week and I didn't click the picture. So let's rewind it a little bit and go back to lower the boom and wide receiver because, you know.
Yeah, speaking of Mrs. Commish, we'll talk about that one now. Let's see here. Let's see that lineup. All right, on the lower the boom side of the ball, man. Trevor Lawrence is going to be at home taking on Green Bay. Green Bay's defense has been pretty formidable this season, so I don't like that matchup there. I don't know, man. Hey, George Pickens is on Monday night against the Giants. Do you believe in Russell Wilson?
He didn't look bad.
I mean, if he's able to kind of mirror like what he did in his season debut, man, I mean George Pickens could be a totally solid play. I like the Chargers defense this week going against New Orleans, who it sounds like as long as they can stop Kamara, like they're not really going to have to worry about anything else on the offensive side of the ball for New Orleans.
Yeah. Timu Patrick Mahomes isn't really doing much.
Now, check this out, right? Let's go on the wide receiver side of the ball. And her running backs have been great this season. Cook, Hubbard, and Pollard, all been really solid. She's managed to get to 5-2 with essentially really no wide receiver play. Okay. Now, hear me out on this, right? You've got Nuke just got traded today to go to Kansas City, right? Amari Cooper got traded to the Bills last week. And now all of a sudden you've got Tyreek Hill getting his quarterback back. That's terrifying. Because even if she gets a little bit of production out of Hopkins, and I mean, I think Amari Cooper going to the Bills is going to be, I don't want to say Stephon Diggs level, but I mean, like, there's nothing out of the realm of possibilities saying that dude can't get, 600-700 yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns like coming down the stretch.
Dude, I'm not giving up on DeAndre Hopkins either, man. I just think he hasn't had a quarterback to throw to him for the past 4 years. Like, we're sleeping
There
on
you go.
him, dude.
There you go.
He's not old. He doesn't get
Yeah.
injured. He hasn't lost a step. He's had nobody to throw him the ball in 4 years. Like, dude, that guy, that I'd be watching out for him more than anybody else. You want to trade? Trying to trade? Trying to trade?
I mean, I know ESPN has Lower the Boom as a slight favorite this week, but LVL's he's having a tough go of it this season, man. Wide receivers up 5-2, man. I think Mrs. Commish gets to 6-2 on the week, and Lower the Boom, man. He just keeps sliding in the wrong direction, man. He's almost technically on to 2025.
Dude, what's crazy? She has Marvin Harrison Jr. too.
Yep.
Like, I look at my wide receiver room and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty stacked, but like, yeah. Too bad she couldn't play 5 wide receivers or 4. She got Keenan Allen too. I mean, yeah. Lower the Boom probably needs to change their name to Lower the Expectations. Because, I mean, I love you. You're my dog, Lee, but
please have a name change next week. Lower the expectations.
I mean, what are you trying to do with Saquon? Holler at me.
Hey, I'd love to see a trade happen in this league that didn't involve Surrender Cobras or myself.
Shit. Holler at your boy, Lee.
All right, man. We got next. Snitches get stitches and the AT aliens.
Lee, I'm gonna pick you.
Let's go, baby.
Fuck it.
My man really wanted to facilitate a deal, it sounds like.
95 to 94.72. That was definitely a pick out of spite, too. Also, I'm a terrible person. All right, moving on. Snitches versus AT aliens.
Man, I'm sitting here looking at this matchup. It looks gross.
Yeah, pretty much.
It looks real gross.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm assuming Snitches is going to make a move here for wide receiver help this week. He lost Ayuk. Evans is going to be out. I don't know, man. Since T. Higgins has come back, Jamar Chase hasn't really been, Jamar Chase, I guess. I mean, he's got Lamar Jackson, who's been cooking all season, as much as I hate to say it, but he's on the road against Cleveland. I mean, he's going to put up points, but I don't think it's going to be enough, man. I'm going to say this one's probably going to be a race to 70. I'm going to take AT aliens comfortably in this one.
The only bright spot I see in this dog shit of a matchup is Nick Chubb being in the lineup and being healthy and scoring a touchdown last week. Good for him, dude. That man's knee went the wrong way last season. He looked pretty good. So because of that, I'm going to also pick AT aliens on the back of Nick Chubb and a fake knee. 81 to 73. Are we ready for the 5-star?
Let's do it.
This totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And I don't have a whole lot of shit to talk here, but you sure do, and I hope that you show up, mister. So, without a further ado, I mean, actually, I do have a little bit of shit I can talk, but you're you're the one with the loaded gun. Iron Smoke versus YouTube safe name. The floor is yours.
All right, man. I'm gonna start off on the YouTube safe name side of the ball. My man with all the running back power. Derrick Henry is really good.
At football, yeah, he's really good. At
Oh
football.
my god, like it's disgusting. You know, like when you watch him run, he is so deceptive on like how fast he actually is.
He's kind of my spirit animal.
I mean, it kind of looks like a complete slow motion getting to the edge, dude. But once he gets to the second level, he's gone.
Yeah. He's like a refrigerator on wheels.
Yeah. Look, man. I think it's going to be real interesting to see what happens with Cooper Kupp. I know they held him out this past weekend to kind of get him ready for this big matchup on Thursday night, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm really interested to see how that is going to play out.
I heard he's trade bait.
I've been hearing that, man. And depending on where he lands, like, that may make an already good team even better. So that's definitely going to be something to monitor. He's got Aaron Rodgers in there this week because it does look like his QB1, Mr. Daniels, is probably going to miss. They're going to be on the road at New England, and I know New England's had their fair share of issues this year, but it's not like the Jets have been lighting the world on fire. So, it seems like everybody wants to point the finger at dropping passes and, running the wrong routes and all this other shit. But I mean, has anybody ever thought that it might actually be the guy throwing the football? So I don't know if he sticks with Aaron Rodgers. If he does, I feel like that's going to crack the door open, but Iron Smoke is going to need some type of he's going to need some type of superhuman performance from somebody on his side of the ball. And if I'm going to throw a dart here, I'm going to say Josh Jacobs taking on the Jaguars. The Jaguars' run defense has been kind of near the bottom of the league this year. And while Jacobs hasn't had that explosion off the page, man, this might be the week where you see him go, 30 carries for 150 yards and multiple touchdowns, man. I tell you what, man, I think I'm going to call the upset this week, dude. I am going to go Iron Smoke on the back of a Josh Jacobs nuclear explosion this week. This one's close. I'll take Iron Smoke 91 to 88.
It's 5 stars. Going to be short and sweet for me, buddy. Iron Smoke 101, YouTube safe name 100.
Oh my God. Back-to-back L's going at 100 plus. Wow.
Iron Smoke 101, YouTube safe name 100. If that happens, I'll figure out how to get 5 screens on here next week.
I figure we save YouTube safe name for the live stream of the election on the 5th, man. Let's do that.
We might have to stream that on Kick or something, dude. I don't think YouTube's going to be too happy with that one. But I'm down.
Let's go, baby. It's going to be a long night anyway for the whole country.
12 days away, aren't we? 13 days
Man, we're
away.
getting close, dude.
Dude, speaking of that, I got a text today, right, from a number that I had
Oh,
no idea who it was. You know, like iPhones kind of give you a short synopsis of what the text is, right? And it said, "I will always love you. Why? Because you never stopped loving." And then it was dot dot dot. And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" It had a 386 number, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, this can't be. This can't be like her or something, right?"
oh no.
It was fucking Donald Trump. It said, "I will always love you. Why? Because you never stopped loving me. I am Donald Trump. Before my deadline, read this." Hit stop to end. Dog, I had a fucking panic attack in my car driving. I'm like, "Who the fuck is this texting me?"
Is it her? Lord, no. I know there's a few of us in the league. We know exactly who she is, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh no.
Hello, guardrail. Yeah, fucking stupid texts. But
It's funny, man. Hey, man, but seriously, in all seriousness, man, guys, get out there, rock the vote, man. I know early voting is open out in the state of Texas, so hopefully it is in your neck of the woods, man. Take care of your civic duties and do your thing,
no
regardless of who it
laughing.
is. Uh-oh. She,
Yeah,
it sounds like to me somebody heard a conversation about like an unauthorized text messages and just wanted to come in and, check in on things.
it's
So
quite possible. It's quite possible. I could possibly be in the doghouse, so I think we should go ahead and end this here.
sounds
But
good to me, man.
good luck, everybody. See you next
Go
week.
vote.